Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Jacob Barker here along with Matt Cole on this beautiful sunny Saturday afternoon here at Memorial Stadium. Matt, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing today?
A little chilly, but sunny. And, Matt, looking at this game today, looking at the conditions between the two teams, you played lacrosse before, and this is something that's probably going to affect it is the sunlight coming in.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge deal today. The best conditions for a good lacrosse game are just a little bit overcast, nice bright day, but you don't want the sun in your eyes, and that's where that eye black comes in. You really want to keep the glare down, but you're playing with a white ball out there. That's the official ball of high school leagues and college leagues, and it makes it difficult to see, difficult to track, difficult to catch.
As the Cardinals come in today 4-4, they put an end to their three-game losing streak on Wednesday night after defeating the Worcester Scots 8-6. Pat Tyner getting the clinching goal, or the icebreaker, as we should say, with about a minute 29 left. That makes it to make the Cardinals 4-4 on the season. Meanwhile, you look at the St. Vincent Bearcats, and they are 2-7 on the year. One thing that stands out, though, is that they have 11 fewer players than this Cardinals team, and Matt, when we look at this roster, this is something that over the past few years, as this team has developed, they're getting deeper, they're getting stronger. They lost Andrew Donatelli, but they've had guys to fill that spot.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are gaining. They pick up new freshmen every year. This is a school that, if you're looking for a D2 or D3 school, this is a school that's on your radar as a high school junior, a high school senior. We've had a team now for a couple years. We've got the oldest team in the OAC, and that really says something against a lot of these other schools when kids are out looking. So we have recruits coming in. We have new kids to play, and that really helps, especially looking at a team like St. Vincent that hails from my area over in Latrobe, PA, or Latrobe as the locals call it. It's pretty short. It's a short roster, and lacrosse is a heavy running game. It's a quick game, and having people who can switch in and out on the fly pretty regularly makes a big difference.
Latrobe, kind of like Latrobe, kind of like the Stillers.
Yeah, sort of. It depends on who you talk to, but it's definitely Latrobe to the people of the area, and I'm sure that's what the Bearcats are calling it.
Well, as we're going to wait for the playing of the national anthem here as the teams are about ready to take the field. Cardinals in their home brand new white jerseys this year. Again, those sporting those new white uniforms after deciding to dump out those old gold uniforms in favor of the white jerseys with red trim. Meanwhile, the St. Vincent Bearcats, they are in the green striped uniforms. White helmets.
Division III men's lacrosse matchup featuring the visiting Bearcats of St. Vincent College, your Otterbein University Cardinals.
Keep doing that.
At this time, we ask everyone to please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
We're going to fade.
As the two teams are set to play here, first we get the starting lineups for the St. Vincent Bearcats. On a junior attack, number 1, Bryce Pasquarello out of Worcester, Ohio. And number 3, Colin Rigney. Number 9, Charlie Russo. Number 10, John Souders. Number 11, David Liu. Number 12, Greg Gonzalez. number 17, Pat Kenna, number 26, Tim Oxenrider, number 28, Nick Pencil, number 44, Peter Ronis, and number 50, D'Angelo Kuzar. In goal is number 12, Gonzalez as the goalie. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, to you, Matt?
Yep, the Cardinals starting lineup today, you have the freshman goalie, James Gunling out of Worthington. You have number 3, Jeff Reese, the senior midfielder from Shaker Heights. Mikey O'Neill at number 4, the senior attack from Sunrise, Florida. Robbie Giuliano, number 9, the sophomore out of Cincinnati. Number 11, Brogan Orcutt from Cincinnati, Ohio. Pat Tainer, the senior midfield from Canton, Ohio. 15, Brandon Stroop, the junior midfielder from Dublin. Number 16, Mike Dadalo, the senior attack from Lewis Center. 25, Carlos Salazar, the sophomore, will be the face-off specialist to start off this game from Wooster, Ohio. 33, Trevor Kujoski, the junior from Farmington Hills, Michigan. And number 35, the sophomore defenseman, Adam Norris from Worthington, Ohio.
As the two teams get ready to take the field here, one of the players that we wanted to point out on this men's lacrosse team, one of the guys that has stood out since his freshman year is number 4, Mikey O'Neill. O'Neill's got 9 goals and 20 assists for 29 points. And keep in mind, he was the setup man for Andrew Donatelli last year, a big part of Donatelli's team leading in goals. And he has chipped in this. He is not disappointed with 20 assists. He leads the team in that category. He's chipped in with Mike Dadalo, Mike Sullivan, and Robbie Giuliano, all guys who are in for breakout seasons. As the two teams, they will gather up for the handshake. They will take the field.
The goalies have crossed. Looks like Otterbein goalie will be defending to our right, while St. Vincent will be defending to our left. Setting for the face-off, we have number 9, Charlie Russo from St. Vincent, and Carlos Salazar, 25, for Otterbein.
Set for the face-off, and we are underway. Cardinals wearing their home whites as they attack, leading the other way. High slot now, O'Neill. He'll try to hit it across field. And that's stopped there by Gonzalez.
One thing we've noticed from this team here in the warm-ups is that Gonzalez, the goalie for St. Vincent, does not have a strong rebound control. That is something that's really going to come into play during this game.
As the St. Vincent Bearcats, they'll try to counter in the opposite way. Trying to work it on the left wing. They'll work it far side. Around the net.
All right, Jay. Come up on you.
As they try to work it on near side now. Bearcats try to bring it toward the net. And they're going to look to set something up here in the Cardinals zone. Mackey. He'll take it high slot. Try to do something with it. Cardinals really trying to box out here as they look for something, as they look to regain possession.
The St. Vincent team definitely looks smaller than the Cardinals out there. The Cardinals are a tall team.
That one is out of play. That one will still remain in possession, though, of the Bearcats. Ball is back in play at the point now. That's Mike Mackey. He's taken down there by the defense of the Cardinals and in transition the other way. Wait now, though. That's still not out. The Cardinals trying to keep it alive, but can't. Now down near the net. As the Bearcats get tied up, but they still maintain possession of it. O'Neill waits for it, tries to get it near midfield.
Across the line is the ball, back across into the Cardinals side.
Nice hit there by Orcutt, but he looks like he's going to take a penalty for that one. Delayed call coming up here on the Cardinals, as the Bearcats will look to get the first man advantage of the game. Two teams trying to scramble for it. Nobody been able to come up with it on the delayed call. And it looks like we're going to get a second call here coming up. And look, that one's going to go on Kajowski. He'll get the cross check. So 2 penalties coming up here on the Cardinals. 2 very costly ones. And another flag thrown yet again. Gunling trying to come out to challenge that one. Finally getting the whistle blown. And Matt, looks like we're going to have at least 2 penalties. I saw 2 penalty flags thrown there. Looks like the Cardinals are going to be at least 2 man short.
Yeah, those will probably be releasable penalties, but hopefully they won't be long. The thing that you really want to avoid here, the unreleasables, and that's when the scoring run from the EMO, the extra man on of St. Vincent, will really just tear the Cardinal defense apart. So, looks like the Cardinals out there with their 4 long poles. They've stuck a long stick midi in there. So we have 4 long poles against the 6 attack, well, the 3 attack and the 3 mid of St. Vincent. Possession of St. Vincent in the Cardinal zone.
It looks like we got Novicki out there. Hayden Novicki, Matt Isley.
Yeah, it's hard to see that ball, isn't it?
And we also, and it looks like Adam Norris, he's out there as well. That makes up the 3 defensemen, the 3 defenders there.
Right, Jay,
the Cardinals 2-man short.
Yeah.
And the officials signaling out the calls here.
After he's done with the signals.
So
the officials have given the signal.
Appears
and
that we have 2 1-minute releasables. So that is not much for the Cardinals to kill off, but it is long enough that their man-down defense is really going to need to step up and hold it here.
We're going to come back on Susanna when they're ready.
As the Bearcats, they're set up at a 6-on-4 in the Cardinals zone. So 2-man short, and they're going to look to get the first points of the board. 12:55 left here in the first quarter. Cardinals sideline trying to encourage this team as the Bearcats will put it back into play. Pencil now, he'll have it at the point. Try to work it around the perimeter.
It's a good cycle here by the Bearcats.
And with two man down for the Cardinals, they're going to try and take advantage of that.
And this is something in lacrosse that you see often for these EMOs. It's not a lot of shots. They'll cycle it around until they get an open lane or they see the goalie flinch on something.
Vicky trying to pressure for it and trying to get it cleared, but he's outmanned 3-1. He still is able to chip it away, kill time off that clock. Great job there by Novicki. The Bearcats try to put it out in front near the high slot there. Shot by Pencil. And coming out to play it is Gunling. He's out of the net though. But it looks like the Cardinals will get a hand on it, and Norris is able to clear the zone.
Mike Dadalos subbing in there for Drew Watson on the line.
The Cardinals will look to kill off this penalty as quick as they can. Jeff Reese now back on the field as Gunling. He'll come way outside the crease to play it near midfield. Nice move there by Novicki, trying to keep it alive. Novicki now, he'll escape across the line quickly. Cardinals in transition the other way as they will look to counter. And that's Pat Tyner with it. Now he'll hand it off. High slot for Stroop. Now at the point again, it's Reese. Reese walking the line. He'll wait for a man out in front. There's a shot by Dadalo, and that's turned aside, out of bounds. Dadalo, point blank range, and he's as we mentioned earlier, the team leader in goals with 16. Cardinals will put it back into play though. Out in the high slot though, Giuliano with a shot, and that's turned aside. Rebound control an issue there, as Matt Cole mentioned earlier though. Cardinals trying to set it up again. Working within the high slot, that's O'Neal. O'Neal looking to set up Jeff Reese with a shot, and that one missed as well. Cardinals getting a lot of pressure on there, Matt.
Yeah, this is a good look, a lot of shots, which is good for the Cardinals. Like I said earlier, this goalie does not have good rebound control, so they are bound to get something.
Time to wrap around attempt, and that's in the net. That's first goal for the Cardinals. It's Pat the Rat Tyner. He gets the Cardinals on the board first with 10:53 left in the first quarter, and it's 1-0.
They may actually not put an assist on that goal. That looked like it could have been unassisted. That was a good run all the way in from the X to the crease.
Otterbein goal scored by number 12, Pat Tyner.
Sean, you're up.
There it is. Pat Tyner with the goal. There will be no assist, so we are back to the center for the face-off. Possession goes to Otterbein.
This is face-off specialist Carlos Salazar. He'll take possession of it. He'll hand it off to O'Neal now. O'Neal will play it near side now for Dadalo. Dadalo now back to O'Neal. Near side looking for a man. Defended tightly there by Rigney. He'll dish it off. He's got nowhere to go with it, and he's got Marcus Willis with it, trying to get it across, but turns it over in traffic there. Scramble along that near side.
Not Cardinals a smart play there by St. Vincent. Not a smart play to fight the man and not search for the ball.
Isley, he'll jump up on the play. The defenseman trying to pinch in. He's going to hand it off to Willis. Whistle blown dead here. As we will await the call from the Cardinals. So we get a little bit of a line change. Some substitutions here for the Cardinals. Coming back in is Novicki. Looks like we got back into the lineup as well as Brogan Orcutt. Also into the game, number 5, Alex Titus, the sophomore out of Olentangy Orange. One of many Olentangy players on this team. Definitely saw a lot of action coming up going up against Mike Dadalow, the arch nemesis, Lewis Center, Olentangy High School, Olentangy, home of the Braves. As the Bearcats in transition the other way, they'll look to counter. They're going to set up that 6-man offense inside the Cardinals zone. Saunders now. He'll take his time with it, now hand it off. Mackey, far side left wing. He'll look to put it behind the net. Goes out of bounds. Looks like that's going to go off him. And the Cardinals will pick it up right away in transition. They'll take the turnover. And Novicki will long lead pass there for Titus. A little too far, but O'Neal will scoop it up.
Tripped up there on the line.
Could have been a possible penalty there, but no call. Well, it looks like we are going to get something called here. And looks like it is going to go to the Bearcats. Correction, that'll be nothing more than just possession to the Cardinals. They'll try to bring it near side, but it's turned over there on the pass. It looks like the Cardinals couldn't come up with it. Reese now, he falls down. He's lost his stick. And the Bearcats in transition. They've got numbers the other direction.
Okay. Coming back up on Susanna now.
As Saunders looking near side, back door. Teammates don't see him, but now they'll work it at the point. They try to work it down low. Cardinals boxing out though in front of their own goalie. I'm telling you, one thing you're noticing right now, Matt, is how the Cardinals are boxing out around Gunling. They're not allowing those outside. They're not allowing those inside attempts there as the Gunling turns that one aside. Nice stick save there.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference to have your defense really rally around your goalie. As lacrosse goes, you cannot have an offenseman step into the crease. That is an automatic dead ball. However, getting those shots right along the circle are what really rip goalies apart. If you get in there close, it's easy to pick a corner, go low and away, which is a goalie's nightmare, or any of the top corners. So having your defense push your guys away and make sure that the front of the crease is clear will make a huge difference to any goalie, especially a goalie as strong as Gunling.
That's Kredovic trying to throw it on the cage. That one is nearly played out of bounds, but it's played near side by the Cardinals. They'll come away with it in transition the other way with speed. And they've got numbers. Watson now, he'll look the other way, trying to make a play with it. Little shimmy shake there, trying to get through too many men there for the Bearcats. As he turns it right over to them. Luckily, could have gone the other way. Ronis now, he'll take it left wing. Behind the net, tries the wraparound attempt there. Is Pencil. Mackey, he'll take his time with it. No, not a whole lot of space. As Matt mentioned earlier, you cannot enter the crease without the ball in the game of lacrosse. As the play will automatically be blown dead, and Cardinals taking full advantage of that right now. So the Bearcats are struggling to get man in front of that net. They're trying to work it around the perimeter to get a clean shot away. As Mackey, he'll try to work it inside. Now quick shot there and a score. Bryce Pasquarello ties the game up at 1 with 6:37 left in the first quarter. The Bearcats were coming, and they get the tying goal with 6:37 left here.
And that's a rough play on the Cardinals' defense. You can't let a man sit on top of your crease like that. The goalie is tracking the ball. He's not tracking the extra men. So if you let someone stand right on top of their crease, it's easy to put it into a goalie there. Down for the face-off, back in the center.
For Pasquarello, that is his team leading 16th goal of the season. He led the team with 15 coming into today, and he leads the team, and he is second on the team in points with 16 next to Nick Pencil. Cardinals trying to counter the other way as Tyner will try to fight his way to the net. Too many men there for the Bearcats, and they'll work in transition the opposite direction. A little bit of a cross check there by O'Neal, but it looks like the Cardinal defense and midfield will retreat. Gunling, he'll try to come out to play it. Pressured there by Kajowski. And Adam Norris trying to fight for possession on that far side.
Back to Susanna.
They take it away though. They'll try to bring it in across. And we're going to get play blown dead here. It looks like there will be a cross check coming up on the Bearcats.
That's going to be a push from behind. If a man is bent down to pick up the ball, you cannot push him in the back. You can't push a guy in the back, period. But to knock someone down is a change of possession.
Delayed penalty coming up here as O'Neal tries to do a little shimmy shake with it, trying to put it behind the net, trying to come out from behind the net.
Jay, can you try to find Otterbein's coach? So when you find him, I'll tell you who he is. I know what he looks like.
Klippa at the point now. He'll look for a man to hand it off to. Bach. He'll try to move on in, trying to get through a crowd of defenders from the Bearcats.
Okay. Well,
now he gets all tangled up there, and he tries to fight for possession. Bach regains possession. He'll try to send it out in front of the net. And that one is blocked, but the Cardinals still trying to put that pressure on as Klippa will look to find an open man.
Susanna, you're still up. Just get here, Jay.
Klippa will set it up at the point.
Yeah.
Lots of traffic in front of that Bearcats net as they're taking their time with it. He'll pick up some speed. He'll throw it behind the net for Mikey O'Neal. O'Neal, little shimmy shake, tries to throw it out in front, and it's sticked aside by Greg Gonzalez. Play is finally blown dead as we wait the call from the official as to what the penalty is going to be, but it is going to be on the Bearcats.
Back to get some of those.
And right now it looks like still trying to wait the call from the official, but it will be Brendan Matson, the freshman out of North Huntingdon, Pennsylvania. Actually, it looks like now we're just going to get one foul here. As the Cardinals will take to the man advantage. Tyner at the point, he'll hand it off to O'Neal. O'Neal back to Tyner.
Cardinals with an interesting setup here, opting not to place a man X and have 3 in front of the net, 3 far back towards the top of the box. An interesting option, not as easy to cycle around, which is really the key to a solid EMO in lacrosse. So that's an interesting thing to look at, but it doesn't look to be going too poorly for the Cardinals.
Cardinals trying to apply pressure on that forecheck, but they're going to get it. Looks like we'll get a penalty here. Delayed penalty coming up on the Cardinals. Seen a handful of penalties already in this game.
They're a perfect example of what I said with the sun being just a little bit too bright. Hard to track the ball on those long tosses, especially if it's a little too high for you.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be that tough, but when you got a light-colored, tan, almost white-colored lacrosse ball, and you got the sun in your eyes, definitely not something that works in the player's favor, as Matt Cole mentioned earlier.
And shot.
The official, as we await the call from the officials. And it looks like the guilty one here is going to be Tyner. Tyner will take a seat.
Jay, can you give me the scoreboard?
Actually, I stand corrected, as that one is going to be on Dadalo. Dadalo, that one's a huge blow for the Cardinals, leading goal scorer on this team. And with 3:50 left and counting, the Bearcats will look to take the lead. Pressured on the perimeter now as that one is thrown out of bounds. Cardinals will regain possession of it, and they will look to kill time off that clock.
I suppose we could
on the kill.
make Susanna just the field cam all the time, and you could focus more on close-ups if you want.
As the Cardinals look to counterattack the other way now.
You're doing a really good job. All right, you're going to be field cam and
Cardinals trying to bring it in far side, close to the net. Pressure there by a couple defensemen.
That penalty on Tyner is released.
And that play is blown dead as soon as Tyner comes out of the box. Cardinals will have possession of it. As Dadalo will look to hand it off to Stroop. Stroop now, he'll play it over to Reese. Reese back to Stroop near side at the point. Dadalo, he'll take it on the wing. As Otterbein looking to set up on the perimeter. Now Stroop trying to move in through traffic. Tries to fight for it, still trying to gain possession of it. Dadalo standing there, nowhere to go with it. And the Bearcats are going to look to go in transition, but looks like we're going to get another pushing penalty here on the Cardinals. Dadalo trying to fight for that loose ball.
Yeah, I'm going to come up on this one and do something.
And he will be the guilty one here.
All right, Jay, you're up.
2:52 left. Teams tied at 1 apiece. And Matt, I know you played the game of lacrosse. Normally, we're used to seeing such a back-and-forth affair. A lot of tight defense, a lot of penalties called. Not a whole lot of scoring chances in this game.
Yeah, this is a pretty low-scoring game as it goes. This has been a very, very defensive opportunity. A lot of big runs that guys are taking in from the top of the box, are getting choked off right on top of the crease, and that's a good thing to say for both defensive teams. And that's something that you need to look for, because the game of lacrosse, the average score is anywhere from 8 to 15. So for it to be 1-1 here closing on the first half really says a lot about the defense of both of these teams.
Pencil at the point. He'll work it near side as the Bearcats try to set it up around the perimeter. Quick passing as they try to look to get it to the front of the net. They'll cycle it out up top of the point. Attempted pass there by Kretovics is blocked. He'll keep possession of it and keep the play alive, though. Behind the net now, it's Mackey. Pasquarello, far side team leader in goals. He'll hand it off back at the point.
Come on, go help your teammates.
Slow ball movement as the Bearcats look to set it up, taking their time. They're trying to isolate that man down low. Picking up speed now with the Bearcats. There's a pass out in front, nearly wide open in the high slot, but the Cardinals in transition the other way, and they got numbers. Odd man rush here. O'Neal trying to storm the front of the net, but Giuliano's got it. He'll circle way around the net. Willis looks near side, nowhere to go with it. He'll hand it off to Bach. Connor Bach now back down to Willis, now back down to Giuliano. Willis again takes a look for Bach, nowhere to go with it. He'll hand it off back the other side at the point. A little shimmy shake there by Klippa. There's a shot on goal, and that's turned aside.
And there's that
Gonzalez
control again. That's just not good on the goalie. You get those big shots coming in. You got to bounce them up and catch them and trap them in the crease. You can't let them fly out again and go back into free play.
About 50 seconds left here in the first quarter. Teams both tied at 1 apiece. A low-scoring affair. Lots of defense. Handful of penalties. Not a whole lot of scoring chances. Gonzalez way out of that net. Looks nowhere to go with it. The net is wide open. And it looks like we got Kusar coming back, trying to play some goal. As the Cardinals try to catch Gonzalez out of position, though. Now, meantime, there's a shot by Dadalo, and that's turned aside off the shin pad. Looks like of Gonzalez. Gonzalez again, lack of rebound control, but also trying to get a little too far out of that net. And you better thank goodness it's lacrosse, Matt, because you got all those extra man out there to help you.
Well, that's
and
a
when
pretty
you're that
typical
far
thing for lacrosse. A lot of goalies will carry it up. A goalie can run just as far as to the middle line, so goalies will often opt to carry it up. A lot of men don't lock off the goalie like they do other players, so if you don't have an open pass, you can only stay in your crease for so long, and once you reach the top of the crease count, you need to get out and go somewhere with it. So a lot of goalies, to avoid a long throw or a bad pass, will run it out until someone can get open for them.
Kusar with just about 18 seconds left here in the first quarter as the Bearcats look to put up a little last-second goal at the end of the first quarter here. Reismeyer, he'll look far side, and looks like time is going to run out here on the Bearcats with the score tied at 1 apiece headed into the second quarter. Coach Hartnett, he'll rally his troops up around. And Matt, what do you think Hartnett's saying to his players right now? You know, you're going up against a team that's 2-7, and you're still tied at 1. You've taken a handful of penalties. What do you look to do to turn around in this game?
I think it's a lot of watch your offensive plays and keep the passes going. The defense looks great. There's not a whole lot you can say about it. They're locking off guys. They're stopping them at the X. They're stopping them from coming around the top of the crease. So that's a lot of good things to say about the Otterbein defense. But the Otterbein offense looks great at the midfield and not so strong down in the attack. So it's a lot of, watch where you're running. Don't try and be a hero. You don't have to run through 3 guys. Splitting the defense is great, but you don't have to do it on every play. Look for the passes. They have time. It's a tied game, so you might as well be back to 0-0. No one's up on anyone, and you've got plenty of time to pass it around and cycle it until you get a good shot. There's no need here for the Cardinals to get panicked and for them to rush it and run it in, trying to jam it in anywhere. They have plenty of time to pass it around. Like I said, this goalie Gonzalez for St. Vincent does not have the strongest rebound control, which means shots from up top in the midfield coming out from that 10 to 15 yard mark away from the goal are going to do a lot of damage. Whether or not they go in, they're probably going to bounce out of the crease, and that's going to give a lot for the Cardinal attack to get in there and throw a ball low and away from Gonzalez.
Taking a look here at the OAC scoreboard, scores around the Ohio Athletic Conference. Transylvania topples over Wilmington 20-6. That is a final score. And later, and still in action as well, John Carroll and Bellewatte, Baldwin, Wallace, and Calvin. As tomorrow, Capital and Southwestern out of Texas, Southwestern Texas, they will take on the Crusaders. Crusaders in their first ever season, as is John Carroll and Baldwin Wallace. As Matt mentioned earlier, the first season. The Cardinals, the original OAC team. Prior to this season, they were an independent NCAA Division III. As with 6 teams, they will look to compete in the Ohio Athletic Conference tournament, hopefully in the postseason. As we are back underway in the second quarter, Cardinals lose possession of it. That ball's still loose. And in transition the opposite direction are the Bearcats. They've got numbers 4 on 3, and now they got 2 man up. Trying to walk in on Gunling there. That sure looked like a sure scoring opportunity for Pasquarello. He lost control of it, though, and Gunling scoops it up.
Good play on Gunling to come out there to the top of the crease. That'll make a world of difference. You cut down that angle just like in any sport. The less angle you give them, the more opportunity you have to make the save. So, yes, it's easy to go up and over top of a goalie at the top of the crease, but on a long bomb like that where the attack doesn't have great control of the ball, those top of the crease plays are going to make the world of difference for Gunling's save percentage.
Pat, big hit there by Dadalo on the near side. As that one is stolen away, though, by the Cardinals. Walking it out in front, and there's a huge save by Greg Gonzalez.
Now, I'm not sure if that was a huge save by Gonzalez or a huge save by the right post, but it definitely didn't go in the net.
The Bearcats in transition the other way. That looked like a sure scoring opportunity for the Cardinals. Wide open down low is Giuliano. The Cardinals cannot cash in. As substitutions for the Bearcats, Sean Kretovics, the senior midi out of Kent, Ohio. Both Kretovics and Pencil, both natives of Kent, out distant suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. Not too far from the hometown of Jonathan, our very own John Bazika, out of Akron, Ohio, as the Bearcats will look to go in transition. They've got numbers 4 men up. I'll try to hand it the opposite direction. Give and go there to Mackey. Mackey now, he looks nowhere to go with it. Now to John Saunders. Mackey near side pressured there by the Cardinal defense. That's Hufford. Hufford trying to cut down his ankle but can't. And now Mackey's going to wrap it around in front. Attempted pass there goes errant for Pasquarello. He was wide open looking for that point blank shot. Cardinals trying to apply heavy pressure there as Hufford tries to jam it free. He does. Cardinals will break it out and he'll hand it back off to Gunling. Gunling now. He'll stand out to the top of his crease. Looks for man out down deep.
Not a lot of pressure coming here from the St. Vincent attack.
Long lead pass there by Gunling, and that's a huge play for the Cardinals as they look to play it into the high slot. Hufford's got it. Now he'll hand it off down low for O'Neal. Far side on the wing, O'Neal takes his time just trying to walk it out. He's got a man up top, that's Reese. Reese, he'll douse it, he'll hand it off to Tyner. 11:15 left here in the second quarter as Stroop will try to come in with speed. Stroop tries to fight through two Bearcat defensemen, but he's forced to play it away. Reese trying to work it on the outside. Now it goes inside and out. Another little spin move behind the net. Delayed call coming up against the Bearcats. As Stroop will hand it off. Stroop will hand it off at the point. Now down low to Reese. Back to Stroop now. At the point again is at the point again. Now all the way near the midfield line. Cardinals taking their time with it as they're waiting for the play to be blown dead. That one's thrown cross field. That one out of bounds. And we'll wait to see what the penalty is here. Looks like we're going to get a cross-check called on the Bearcats. And that one appears to be on number 10, John Saunders. Or correction, that's going to be on number 17, Patrick Kenna. Kenna, the junior midfielder of Chantilly, Virginia.
And that is a 1 minute releasable, so hopefully the Cardinals can convert on this in the 60 seconds of EMO.
Quick ball movement by the Cardinals. They try to work it down low. That's turned aside by Gonzalez, though. Pressure coming from the Cardinals, but they'll break it out. Clearing attempt there, and they got numbers. It's Hronis. Hronis tries to look for a man on the far side on the right wing. They come in with speed now. It's Ramirez Pasquarello. Pasquarello looks to try and turn around on Norris. As the Bearcats killing valuable time off this penalty. Cardinals not able to set anything up, and they can't even get possession of it right now as that one is thrown out of bounds. 9:30 left in the second quarter and counting. Still tied only at 1 apiece, Matt, and still not a whole lot of scoring opportunities for either team.
No, it's very strong defensively, and not to say that it's weak offensively. Teams have been taking a lot of runs and a lot of shots, but they've been shots from in close, and the defense has been locking off good.
There's a quick shot there by Dadalo. That sails wide. Point blank opportunity for Mike Dadalo, and he misses that one.
Locking off well. Excuse me while I correct my grammar from that last call.
O'Neal loses possession of it, but he'll look to set it up. Wraparound attempt there by O'Neal. He'll try that attempted shot now. High slot for Bach. Quick save there by Gonzalez. Great save, point blank on Connor Bach. As the whistle is blown dead yet again. And another penalty coming up to the Bearcats. As we await the calls from the official on that one.
Huge game penalty-wise so far. Otterbein with 5. That will put St. Vincent at 3. 3 minutes for Otterbein. Looks like this will go to 2 minutes 30 seconds for St. Vincent in the total game. That is an interference call there on Phil Messina.
Cardinals look to try and take advantage of this 1 minute penalty as the Bearcats look to kill it off yet again. Timeout called though by head coach Colin Hart, and he wants to settle things down a little bit, try to get the momentum turned around the other way as the Cardinals are struggling to set up. They're trying to get some offense going, and Matt, if you're Coach Hart in it, you got 8:32 left in the second quarter, right before halftime. You're down to a team that's only 2-7, and you're looking to get balls in the net.
Now I think this is coming out of this is where you're going to see Colin Hartnett calling for a cycle and a lot more passing. 30 seconds doesn't seem like a long time, but in a game like lacrosse where the world moves so quickly, 30 seconds is a good bit of time. So I think here Hartnett is going to tell his boys to toss the ball around a little bit, slow it down. Don't look to drive your way in because they're locking off on the top of the crease. Take those outer corner shots, get within 8-10 yards, rip it on the top corner, and I think that's what's going to put it in here for the Cardinals. So hopefully that's what we see here coming out with just a little bit of time left on this EMO on Phil Messina for the interference call.
Out there, the fours for the Cardinals are number 13, Novicki. You got Tyner. You got Jeffries, O'Neill. You got Giuliano. You also have Marcus Willis, the sophomore midi out of Thomas Worthington. As the Cardinals look to get on the scoreboard yet again, and they're trying to restore that 1-goal lead. Gunling trying to talk it over with his teammates down on the opposite end, looking to see what his defenseman can do to help maybe pinch in a little bit, seal off that zone. The ball back in play for the Cardinals. O'Neill attempted pass at the point. Cardinals trying to get a little forecheck going. They put some pressure on, maintain possession of it.
Do you have a favorite sport?
But it gets taken away there. Long lead pass, nearly intercepted there by Reese. But it's Mackey the other direction. Mackey, he'll hand it off to Pasquarello. Pasquarello, a little shimmy shake there on Norris. But it's taken away by the Cardinals. Novicki, he'll hand it off to O'Neill. O'Neill on the right wing near side. Takes a look, nowhere to go with it. He'll try to set up shop behind the net, trying to work it out front and around the perimeter.
Penalty flag thrown there on the outside of the box. We'll have to wait and see who that goes against. Looks like it is going to be on St. Vincent, but I missed the penalty, so we will have to see here what the ref saw that we couldn't from up here in the box.
Willis, he'll hand it off down low to Tyner near side. Try to put it in front of that net. He'll hand it out up top. There's a quick shot there, but that's turned aside by Gonzalez yet again. Gonzalez giving up a lot of juicy rebounds that we saw in warm-ups, but he has made several key stops to keep the Bearcats in this game. As the play is finally blown dead here, and looks like we're going to get a penalty called here on number 1, Bryce Pasquarello. As we await the call from the officials, O'Neill will look to put it back into play. He's got Dadalow at the point, and he'll look to set it up. 7:20 left here in the first half and in the second quarter. Both teams tied at 1 apiece. Low scoring affair here for a lacrosse game.
It looks like we've got David Liu for a penalty as well. Bryce Pasquarello off for 30 seconds with an interference, but we'll have to see what number 11, David Liu, the freshman defenseman from St. Vincent, is.
There's a pass down low, shot and a score. And it looks like that one's going to be Pat Tyner on the play. Pat Tyner on the pass from Mikey O'Neill. That's going to be his second goal of the afternoon, and the Cardinals regain the lead 3-1. Correction, that's
2-1.
Should be 2-1, but the scoreboard's reading 3-1 with 7:11 left here in the second quarter. Huge goal for the Cardinals. Hopefully that'll generate some momentum here as we are set for the face-off.
That was a good job following the still called a ball, right? I don't know if they have some.
Huge play, huge goal on the man advantage.
Yeah, good job. We got it all. All right, coming up on Jay. Sean, can you get a wide view? Oh, never mind. Susanna's back.
Isley, he'll play it near side for Giuliani.
Susanna, you're wide.
Giuliani wearing that number 9, previously worn by 3 years. Previously worn for her, actually, by Mikey O'Neill. From 2010-2011 all the way up till last year, Mikey O'Neill held that number 9, decided to switch to number 4. For what reason, we do not know.
All right, Jay.
But nonetheless, the Cardinals get a 2-1 lead. Wrap around the attempt by Dadalow. Dadalow looks to throw it out in front. That's turned aside by Gonzalez yet again. Looks like that went off the foot of the goaltender Gonzalez. And O'Neal will look to set up shop behind that net. He's got Willis out in front. Couple men camped right outside that crease. As O'Neal looks for an open man. Lots of sticks in the way here for the Bearcats, though, as they look to collapse down on the Cardinals as they have done all afternoon.
Susanna, I don't get what's stopping them from just like running full speed towards the net and like putting it in.
Giuliano takes his time with it. Tries to dance around his counterpart, Charlie Russo. That one is thrown out in front, and Connor Bach was the one that looked to get tied up there in front of the net, taken down. Bearcats stopping that scoring opportunity there against the Cardinals. Bach will head off in exchange for Drew Watson. That one thrown out of bounds in possession of the Cardinals. 5:40 left here. 2-1 Cardinals on top in the second quarter. Dadalo just taking his time with it, or I'm sorry, that's number 11, Orcutt, Brogan Orcutt, the native of Cincinnati, Ohio. One of many Cincinnati Reds fans that you'll see here on Otterbein's campus, always supporting the Cincinnati Reds hat. Certainly makes Dave Kinder and I proud, along with Josh Overholzer, showing that Cincinnati Reds pride. Sorry, Matt, but they're not quite as many Pirates supporters here at Otterbein as you would think.
No, but they still have a good record, so can't complain. That's a huge shot there from the top of the key, and that's what I'm talking about. Those are what you want to see. That's what's going to rip Gonzalez apart.
The Cardinals trying to throw it out in front. Dadalo was there. But that one goes off the stick of Greg Gonzalez.
Memorial Field today, a much slower field than I expected it to be, and what I mean by that is the ball is not rolling quite as fast when it comes out of a player's stick. Often you'll see a missed shot hit the ground, and if you're playing on a turf field or you're playing on a hard grounded field, the ball will just roll and roll and roll, and it will take off out of the end zone of the football field out into the track, and we're just not seeing that today from the Dwight C. Ballinger Field here in Memorial Stadium. It's stopping, and that must be due to the rain that we had last night, even though it's quite dry out here today, and that will really help a team like Otterbein, who's used to playing on the grass. And now I don't know where St. Vincent comes from, what their stadium looks like, but if they're used to a harder field, that can really mess up your game plan.
Mackey, quick shot there, as he was able to walk in by himself, trying to get by Orcutt. Nonetheless, Gunling, though, he cuts down the angle, and that one is thrown wide. Oxenrider keeps it alive, though, at the point, as Mackey will try to work it down low. He'll turn on his jets, try to throw it out front. Nobody there. He'll throw it behind the net. Now there's a high slot shot there. Save made by Gunling. Point blank range on Sean Kredovics. Huge save by Gunling, point blank, and the Cardinals in transition the other way. Now it's Stowe. He'll play out on the near side for Willis. Willis. So he will throw it up top at the point. Klippa looks nowhere to go with it. He'll hand it off down low. Cardinals slowly looking to set up that cycle in the zone as they look to set up a play. Bach wants it at the point. He's not going to get it, but he will. Looks like he will now. Nope, he's going to hand it off to Klippa. Klippa works it down low. There's a shot there by Giuliano, and it's wide over the net, just to the left side of that net. O'Neal will scoop it up, though, and the Cardinals will get another crack at it with 2:50 and counting left here in this second quarter. O'Neal pressured there by Cosgrove. That one put wide there by Bach. Cardinals still maintaining possession. They're applying lots and lots of pressure, trying to set up a play. Bach will try to work the front of the net. Bach wants it, but he's not going to get it. And O'Neal tries to control it himself. That one thrown off the stick of Brandon Stroop. Turnover by the Cardinals. That one is nearly stolen away by Bach, but it's picked up by Jeff Reese, and he's got numbers the other way. Reese now tries to work with it himself. As a defender there by the Bearcats, lowered the shoulder on Reese. He's down. He is slow to get up, but nonetheless he stays in play.
That was Colin Rigney with the big hit, just enough to throw him off balance there coming into the offensive zone.
And it looks like we're going to get a late penalty called here on the Cardinals. That was a no call on Reese, and the call on the Cardinals. We'll wait to see what's going to happen here. Trevor Kajowski is going to be the guilty one there. And he'll go off for clipping. That one is a 1-minute penalty. So the Cardinals will look to kill this one off.
That's a slashing call there on Kajowski.
A slashing call. I thought I heard clipping for some reason. Should know this though. Follow hockey, and there's plenty of penalties there in common. But hey,
There's 4, aren't there? Yeah, they have 4. There's 4.
Trying to set up that 6-on-4. The Bearcats covered up there by Gunling. Huge save. The scramble in front of the net.
Looks like we might get a crease violation there on the Bearcats.
That definitely appeared to be the case, as there was a man standing right in front of Gunling. Gunling, the freshman out of Columbus, Ohio, and Worthington-Kilbourne High School, taking the place of one of the original lacrosse players on this Otterbein team, Adam Hatchard. As on the far side, that one is picked off. As Drew Watson had nowhere to go with it, he was trapped by 2 defensemen. He turns it over. That one is thrown out of bounds. Errant pass by David Liu, though. Just over a minute remaining, 1:16 left here in the second quarter before halftime. Novicki, he'll douse it. He'll hand it off to Reese. Now down low, now to O'Neal. O'Neal now streaking. He'll turn around and he'll look to hand it off to Jeff Reese. Reese at the point now for Tyner. Tyner, little shimmy shake, nowhere to go with it. He'll try to hand it off. Slow game as the Cardinals try to work it around. Reese defended there by Lou. He'll try to hand it off on the outside now for O'Neal. O'Neal behind the net for Giuliano. Back to O'Neal again. Clock now down to 32 seconds left. Cardinals trying to get a last-second goal here before the end of the half, as O'Neal will hand it off.
What now?
Dadalo takes it, and a timeout called by head coach Colin Hartnett with 24.7 seconds left.
All right,
Timeout worked last time, Matt, right when the Cardinals were on the man advantage. They got to go off of that, and they're going to look to do the same thing here.
Hopefully, yeah. Cardinal coach Colin Hartnett can tell them to, ignore the clock. Of course, there's not a lot of time left, but hopefully we can stick with this cycle play. We can keep the ball moving and avoid the quick shots. That's what you want to avoid. You don't just want to keep on ripping. If you pepper a goalie in this sport, it might go well for you, but basically all you're going to do is send a lot of balls out of bounds and wear out your attackers by chasing after them to the line, and you might not always win that chase. So with even a little bit of time left, you really want to keep the cycle on before you take the wild shots and hope that you can get into a good zone.
It's hard and rallying his offense around as to what to do. Meanwhile, Josh Lambert getting the defenseman and middies to make sure that nothing gets beyond that midfield. 24.7 seconds left. Cardinals on top, 2-1. As we mentioned, the only other final score in the OAC was Transylvania toppling Wilmington 20-6. Wilmington coming in just a couple seasons after the Cardinals did. Them along with the University of Mount Union. Looks like Reese is going to look to inbound it here.
Right, for these final
on the man advantage.
Because if there's a cool goal, I want to.
Correction, there is no man advantage, but the Cardinals are setting up in the offensive zone. Less than 20 seconds left. Clock now down to 15 as the Cardinals work it on the perimeter. Now that's Stroop. Stroop looks nowhere to go with it. He's going to try and get a shot off, but can't. He'll hand it off to O'Neal. O'Neal now, wraparound attempt. He'll try to throw it out in front of the cage. O'Neal now cross crease. There's a shot, and that one nearly missed. Right at the end of the horn is Pat Tyner looking to get his third goal of the afternoon. He fans on that one. Well, we'll go into the halftime with the Cardinals on top 2-1. Low-scoring game here at Memorial Stadium. We'll be right back here on OTV.
1.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Matt Cole here with Jacob Barker at the Otterbein St. Vincent lacrosse game. Here on this little cloudy but sunny and breezy afternoon here in Westerville, Ohio. We come back to the second half of play. Otterbein up 2-1 on the St. Vincent Bearcats. We want to remind everyone that the next Otterbein TV broadcast is the news this Thursday, this week at Otterbein. So make sure to tune in for that and check us out at otterbein.tv on the internet. So we come back to the game. Like I said, Otterbein up 2-1. Some quick first half stats for you. Otterbein leads St. Vincent in shots 20-11. St. Vincent leads in saves 6-5. Ground balls goes to Otterbein 20-12. All 5 face-offs of this game have gone to Otterbein's face-off specialist, number 25, Carlos Salazar, the sophomore out of Worcester, Ohio. He bends down against Charlie Russo, number 9, the sophomore from Elkton, Massachusetts, or Maryland, excuse me, for this one. The play, scramble in front, possession is going to go to St. Vincent. St. Vincent carries it in. They are at the top of the box. Number 44, Peter Ronis, dishes it off to number 4 at the top of the box, carries around. Otterbein defense set up. We've got 4 long sticks, 2 short sticks in at the top of the box, down to the bottom. St. Vincent cycles it around, pulling it way out to number 10, John Suiters, at the top, almost to the half line. Now number 27 carries it in. That shot on Otterbein goalie Gundling is saved, turned away. Otterbein with possession at the back of the box. Gundling dishes over to number 12, Pete Tyner, who looks to carry it across the line, gets it in on St. Vincent, turns away a defenseman, dishes it to the crease. Over to number 4, Mikey O'Neill, looks to throw it to the top of the crease, gets turned away. Possession held by Otterbein. Sent way, way out there to Jeff Reese at the top of the box now. Drops it. Turn over to number 4, Matt Mackey for St. Vincent. Right in top of the crease. That shot turned away by Gundling.
Huge save there by Gundling. Way to follow the shooter, staying square to the man, not giving him any open space.
Possession back to the top of the box with St. Vincent. Mackey holds it on top, throws it down into the box to number 20, Findle. 28 now on the goalie left, Pencil for St. Vincent. Carries it around, tight defense from Otterbein. A push in the back that goes uncalled, picked up by St. Vincent.
Yeah, the officials actually did catch that one. We got a yellow flag down on the field.
There we go. It's going to go as a cross check and not a push. Delayed call then now on Otterbein. St. Vincent looking to hold on to it. Otterbein needs to get possession to break up this play and to get into the man down position. Ball back to the top of the box now. Carried in by number 27, Kratovics. Cross-check, 1 minute releasable penalty there on number 3, Jeff Reese for Otterbein. So, as they have many times today, St. Vincent will go to the EMO. That puts Otterbein up to 5 total minutes of penalties, with 7 penalties total as a team. That is a lot here at this game. 7 penalties for Otterbein, 5 for St. Vincent. This has been a highly penalized game. A lot of slashing and a lot of cross-checking. So now we will see a cycle throw-around event here by St. Vincent. They carry it to goalie right down into the bottom corner of the box, controlled there by Mackey.
I think, Matt, when you see a lot of penalties called in lacrosse games, hockey games, lacrosse games, even soccer, it's one of those things where, you know, the teams that have to learn to tighten up Take the shots,
and
but
that
speak
will
the devil.
go in. Shot there by number 27, Sean Kretovics, the senior midi from Kent, Ohio. That will tie the game up 2-2, St. Vincent Otterbein.
But, as I was saying there, you take so many both teams take so many penalties. Eventually, it's going to cost one team. And the way the penalties are being called back and forth, we could be in for a tight affair here. If you're Coach Colin Hartnett, you're probably not happy with that right now. Cardinals, they got to pick up their confidence a little bit. They have to pick up the speed, and they have to get that ball position game that they're used to playing.
Carlos Salazar wins his 5th faceoff. Possession goes to Otterbein in the box now. On goalie left, controlled by number 40, George Wright from Otterbein. Tossed out by Gonzalez to the top of the box. Now controlled at midfield, tossed across the line, carried in by previous goal scorer Kretovics, number 27, taps into the box, carries in towards the crease, dishes back off to the top of the box, down goalie right, up to number 10 for St. Vincent, tossed around. Plenty of cycling and passing here by the St. Vincent Bearcats, which is good. Otterbein has locked them off on the crease all day long. The only shots that they have had go in, one on the EMO, one on full team, but they have both gone in low on Gundling, rollers through the bottom of the net. So they are taking these big shots from the outside, trying to change up their scoring drive. Otterbein carries up now. Big pass across the line. Cannot connect.
A little too risky there. Way too risky there. Yeah, I think that was Brogan Orcutt, the defenseman, coming all the way up, trying to get that long lead pass down. That's not something you want to be trying to attempt there.
St. Vincent now with control in the midfield. Number 3, Colin Rigney, the defenseman out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Ball drop.
Great forecheck there by the Cardinals. Great pressure.
Possession going to go to the Cardinals. They tap out on the outside of the box. Brought in now by Mikey O'Neill. Looks for the top left corner of the net. Cannot connect. Shot goes over. Chase won by St. Vincent. Carried now on the far side of the field by number 12, number 17, Patrick Kenna for St. Vincent. Carried across the line now by number 10. St. Vincent dances around the outside of the zone. Running around now at X is number 1, Bryce Pasquarello.
Oh, what a pass.
Dishes it to 28, who puts it in. Spreads goalie James Gundling out for Otterbein. Throws it right over his right shoulder. Not a whole lot you can do about that. It's a good play. That will go Bryce Pasquarello for the assist to number 28, Nick Pencil, who was just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Pasquarello there got a wraparound attempt there. Was able to isolate one of the Cardinal defenders. Found that open space that both teams have been looking for all afternoon long. As we said, Matt, neither team has really been able to crash the crease, but it's something that the Bearcats have looked to exploit, and they did it right there.
Exactly. And now up to the top, Gundling passes off to long stick midi. Appears to be a number 33, Trevor Kujowski. Down into the box now. Otterbein in the offensive zone. Looks to come back. They down for the first time this game, 3-2 to St. Vincent. Number 12 for Otterbein dances in, rips the shot, picked up by number 18, Christian White. Cannot connect on the goal. That ball lost by St. Vincent will go to Otterbein on the sideline. Dished off now to the top of the box, down to the close corner of the box. carried now at X by number 10 for Otterbein, Brogan Orcutt. Oh, no, that's not number 10. Excuse me. That is...
it looks like that's Zach Stowe. Stowe back into the game.
Yes. A player who we have not seen now since the first quarter, so it's good to see him back. Glad to know there is no injury there. I was starting to wonder where he had gone. I do like these white jerseys, but they make the numbers quite difficult to read up here from the press box.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, and that's something I never mentioned to ask Colin Hartman, why the jersey changes were necessary, but at the same time, it did look, if you looked at the old jerseys, they only had it for 4 years, but they did look rather old school. Definitely, I couldn't agree with you more, Matt. The numbers are tough to read, but hey, it's our team. We support the jersey change.
Indeed, we do.
We saw it back in the NHL in 2007, and everybody seemed to support it. So now let's see how that will be received here.
Oh yeah.
That ball carried around by Otterbein defense, looking for an open pass there.
Don't be so modest.
They should auction off those original jerseys that they had.
Make a little money for the team.
Make a little money for the university.
That possession will stay with Otterbein. The long pass cross field carried up now. Otterbein possession, looking to get it across the center line into the offensive zone. Pass over Gundeling's head.
The other way.
Pass across the line to number 23, Drew Watson. Ball passed across the back of the box. At X now is Stowe. Looks for the shot, can't make it into the crease. Gonzalez picks up, looks for the out. Ball down into Otterbein's defensive zone, carried in by Nick Pencil. Looks for the shot, takes the rip, goes wide left. Chase won by Bryce Pasquarello. Possession stays with St. Vincent.
Gunling better thank the ground there, because that one was headed right for his stick side there. In fact, his low left side.
Those low and away shots are the hard ones to stop for the goalies. You want to keep it close to you, stay squared up, as in most sports. But the bottom corners are very, very difficult to defend.
Well, I think the one thing about lacrosse, Matt, that you have to notice is that you don't have that extra padding to help make you make those saves. You're using your entire bare body.
Yeah, there is next to no extra padding for a goalie. Their elbow pads and gloves are a little bit thicker. Chest pad extends to cover the majority of the stomach. However, there's not a lot of extra padding for a lacrosse goalie, as there are not many pads for a lacrosse player in general. You basically have a helmet, a chest pad, 2 elbow pads, 2 gloves, and that's really about the long and short of it. So that ball goes up to the top of the box, controlled by number 3, Jeff Reese for Otterbein, who carries it in, looking for a pass, takes the shot instead, save made by Gonzalez.
Gonzalez looked a little bit shaky in the warm-ups, but he has come up huge on some saves here. He's turned aside a lot of shots that appear to be huge scoring opportunities for the Cardinals.
Otterbein alleviating pressure from St. Vincent, allowing them to carry it across the line nearly unchallenged. Now, I'm not sure if I like that decision there by Otterbein, but that is not my call to make. That carried in there by number 27 for St. Vincent, Sean Kretovics. Tossed across for the pass, overshoots. Possession goes to Otterbein in the bottom corner, far away from us here at Memorial Stadium. Ball carried up the sideline by Otterbein, looking for the pass. Big pass across the line, connects into the offensive zone, dish down into the corner. But that pass, the short one, goes out of bounds. Possession goes over to Colin Rigney for St. Vincent in the bottom corner of the field. Now let's see if Otterbein will opt to put any pass pressure here on the Bearcats. The carryout has been really rather unchallenged here for St. Vincent. So the big pass across the field to number 50, D'Angelo Kuzar, goes unchallenged. Pass to the middle to Gonzalez. They're working to get it up the field, but also to kill a little bit of time. St. Vincent up here 3-2 today at Memorial Stadium. Pass across the line. Overshot goes to Otterbein, picked up in the defensive box. Dished out, but another bad pass. And Otterbein player
That looks like that's Mikey O'Neill.
Yeah.
He's all right, though.
Mikey O'Neill absolutely leveled by Colin Rigney, but gets up and shakes it off.
It's a lacrosse player mentality right there.
Big pass across to number 27, Sean Kredovics, who carries it in. Dishes off, but that pass bad. Picked up by number 23 for Otterbein, Drew Watson, carried across the line, thrown down low, looks for the pass. Nothing there. Carried to X by the Otterbein offense to number 44. Looks for the shot.
Oh,
huge
wow.
save there by Gonzalez, coming up huge when it's needed.
And it looks like the Cardinals are going to try and take advantage of that opportunity there. Look for them to pick up the speed a little bit.
Another big save by Gonzalez. They're going to call that possession to St. Vincent. A nice attempt there by the Otterbein attack, but not quite enough. Number 53 for Otterbein comes onto the field. Andy Hufford in now at the midi position. Defenseman run over number 25 on,
That's Adam Norris.
Adam Norris. Man, these numbers are really difficult to read. These are, if you haven't seen them, terrific looking jerseys, very classy, all white, red outline on the numbers. But when you get out in a sunny day, not only causing problems for the players, but causing problems for us in the broadcast booth, just difficult to tell.
Yeah, well, this is our first time calling a lacrosse game at Otterbein, so it's all good.
Pass across by Gundling, nearly picked off by Bryce Pasquarello, but carried in to the Otterbein offensive zone by number 16, Mike Dadalo. Dadalo throws it to 4, who throws it back to 9, who throws it back to 4, Mikey O'Neill. Carries it to the top, throws it out to the top of the box. Carried in now by Brandon Stroh, controlled by Gonzalez, who dishes it off to his defense, and they look to carry it out of their defensive zone. Across the line now, dished over to 26, Tim Oxenreiter. Carried to the top of the box by St. Vincent. Across the box, looking now for the shot. Offenseman falls close to a stick to the head. Throws it anyway, goes over the head of Gundling into the very top of the net. St. Vincent now up 4-2 on Otterbein.
Yeah, it looks like that one's going to be a huge dagger right there for the Cardinals. We've had a tight game so far. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities, and right now the Bearcats are trying to break it open, but give Gonzalez credit there. He got that momentum started. 2 absolute robbery saves on Connor Bach. Bach still shaking his head down there.
And that's going to be
field.
Goal number 2 for Sean Kredovics on his 8th shot. Big fight there in the middle of the field, but possession won on the faceoff by Otterbein. Otterbein takes control of it at the top corner of the box. Looks to carry it in through the center of the field is number 3, Jeff Reese. Reese waves his player out, trying to open up a passing lane or to open up an isolation. Reese now with the ISO on number 44, Peter Ronis. Dishes off to X, carried around. There it is, a shot and a score there by Otterbein. Number 26, Derek Hahn, I do believe, got the goal.
Wait, they're going to wave it off.
They're waving that off now.
Dadalo not happy about that one. You got 3 or 4 Cardinal players complaining about that one. I think that appeared to be a crease violation. I don't know, though. The Cardinals were doing their job, storming the net. Unfortunately.
They're going to call it a push. That goal would have gone, to number 16, Mike Dadalo. Let me correct myself on that. But that goal is waved off for a pushing call on the Otterbein Cardinals. Possession will stay low in the box, but the goal will be waved off. Possession goes to the outside of the box, just on the edge to number 19 for Otterbein, Marcus Willis.
Are they doing a face-off or how they put this
Willis to Dadalo. O'Neal and Dadalo look to make a play.
Who has it?
Trick ball play. Toss thrown by Zach Stowe, but goes wide left of the net. A good attempt there by O'Neal and Dadalo to run a trick ball. Possession stays with Otterbein. They've won the chase. Number 19 carries into the top of the box. Marcus Willis again looking for the pass. Throws to Dadalo. O'Neal throws down to the bottom to number 12, Pat Tyner, who goes up and over the top of the net, cannot connect. Possession stays with Otterbein. Zach Stowe looks to carry it in. Dishes off to Willis on the side. Carries it at X. Looking now for a place to throw. Throws down low. Nice save there again by Gonzalez. Looks like right off the left leg. He's feeling that. That's going to hurt, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Otterbein down 2-4 on the St. Vincent Bearcats. So we go into another quarter break. What do you think, Mr. Barker, that Colin Hartnett is telling his team now?
I think keep storming that net. Eventually something's got to go in. You know, Gonzalez, he's starting to get hot. He's starting to heat up. Balls are starting to go right off of him. I think you got to keep making those. You got to make those passes a little bit quicker down closer to the crease. You know, make him second guess a little bit. Bring an extra guy down low, and instead of lining up 3 defensemen across the midfield, bring a couple of middies in, bring a defenseman in, increase that pressure. It's going to get to him eventually. Lacrosse is a game, that we've seen. It's not like hockey. It's not like soccer where a 1 or 2 goal lead, late in the game is safe. No lead is safe in any of those sports, but the score can change. You could be down 3 or 4 goals, and all of a sudden make a comeback within 1 quarter fairly easily. Given the up-tempo nature of this Cardinal offense, I would expect nothing less out of these guys. You got guys that can put the ball in the net. You got Dadalo, you got you got Tyner, you got Giuliano, you got Connor Bach. He's starting to heat up. You got guys that have a nose for the net. Something's going to go in. It's just a question of when and how.
And as we enter our last 15 minutes of play, Charlie Russo and Carlos Salazar bend down for the face-off. Possession will go to Otterbein on a failed face-off attempt. Call on Charlie Russo for a bad face-off. Controlled now at the top of the box by Mikey O'Neal for Otterbein. O'Neal looking to carry, backs away from a swinging defensive stick. Dishes it off to number 3, Jeff Reese. Reese carries in through the top of the box, turns it off. Throw and save on Gonzalez. Gonzalez picks it up, almost bobbles it into the bottom of his own net. Throws it away to number 17, Patrick Kenna.
Almost pulled a little bit of a Patrick Stefan there, Matt. Almost put it in his own empty net.
Kenna throws back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks for a new out. Throws across to number 7, Ryan Riesmer. Ball almost knocked down, but goes the whole way through the offensive zone and out on the St. Vincent Bearcats. Possession goes to Otterbein. With the long bomb up the sidewalk, Otterbein carries it through the midi zone, dishes into the offensive side, carried by number 12, Pat Tyner. Thrown down low. Penalty flag on the field. We'll have to wait and see what the delay is. Will go against the St. Vincent Bearcats. Carried in, thrown back to Tyner. Tyner shoots, knocked down by the Bearcats defense. Picked up again by Otterbein. Tyner runs it around, heads to the X, throws it out top. Huge rip and shot. Score by Otterbein. That is number 4, Mikey O'Neal, with a huge shot from 15 yards out. Will go right past Gonzalez. Never even saw it, and that is a good goal.
That was huge play there. I believe that was Giuliano from behind the net. Saw O'Neal streaking. He sacrificed the body, but he knew exactly where to shoot that ball. Had a wide open lane. That's a huge goal for the Cardinals. And as I said, get to that net, fire shots at Gonzalez. He's not going to stop them all.
So that assist will go to Pat Tyner. The goal to Mikey O'Neill brings Otterbein back into this game. Still down, though, 3-4 on the St. Vincent Bearcats. Russo and Salazar go back down for the faceoff. Center field, moving the faceoff circle just a little to the left to avoid a divot now made by the players. Players take position. Whistle blown. Won by Salazar, but the possession will go to St. Vincent. Ah, no, they turn possession over to Otterbein. Throws it into the top of the box, now carried by Giuliano. Carried around to X there as Giuliano throws it away. Up now to the top of the box, out and around to Jeff Reese, who throws it back over to Strew. Carried in by Stroh, turned down to the corner. Now back to X, up to the top of the box. Otterbein cycling this around well, something we didn't see much of in the first half. Opting now to cycle, look for the pass and the far and away shots, as opposed to trying to bust in on the St. Vincent Bearcats defense, which I must admit has looked absolutely terrific, as has Otterbein's. But the lock-off of this defense, this game has been less physical in the sense of big hits, but more physical in the sense that the defense has just put up a brick wall that cannot be penetrated around the crease. Thrown across by Otterbein, a big rip goes over the top. That chase won by Otterbein, so possession will stay with the Cardinal and Tan. Or I suppose we should say the white and Cardinal, as we've seen by these jerseys today, much to our dismay.
You got a loose ball in front of that crease. Somebody's trying to get it. Look like we got a little scrum here.
Come on, hit him.
A little bit of extra play.
Yeah, Stroop not happy with the extra shots he had to take. He wanted a piece of him, and you can understand why. It's a contact sport, and he's still trying to give the business to Peter Ronis.
So possession stays with Gonzalez, who throws it all the way across to number 50, D'Angelo Kuzar, looking to carry it up the line. Nowhere to pass it to, but no pressure. Sends to 17, Patrick Kenner, who looks to carry it across the line, but doesn't. Throws it to Pencil. Pencil carries it in now into the top of the box, uncontested.
It's always Rooster's time, though. I can have that every day of my life.
Number 23 for Otterbein tries to lock off at the top, but the ball goes down to X now, controlled by St. Vincent. Over back to 28, Nick Pencil, who has been all over this field today.
Pencil, team leader in points with 22. He loves to set it up behind that net. He loves to find his counterpart, Pasquarello, out there.
Shot ripped by number 27, Sean Kratovic's previous goal scorer, but misses. Picked up by the Otterbein Cardinals. Thrown in. Controlled now by Otterbein in the top of the box. Mikey O'Neill looking for somewhere to go. Ball makes its way to number 44, Connor Bach.
Oh, that's an interference penalty right there. He's going to pay for it.
Big check.
What a hit, but that was almost out of the play there.
I'm interested to see how much time they put on this penalty.
Both teams starting to get a little bit more physical here. We're seeing a lot more hitting. We're seeing a lot more scrums, a little bit more yapping down at field level. We saw Stroop earlier. He wasn't happy with what he saw. And you know what? The Cardinals got the man advantage now. Get revenge on it. Make him pay the price. Let him know that, you're the team that wants to control this game.
That penalty going to go against number 11, David Liu. We still don't have confirmation on what exactly the penalty was, but my guess is a cross-check there. So that will assumingly be a 1-minute releasable penalty if I can figure out what it has been. The internet is now failing.
Internet failing at Otterbein?
No, of course not. So that ball thrown down to X. EMO here by the Cardinals, dished across to number 12, who rips the shot. There's a huge goal there by Pat Tyner. Will tie up the game. 4-4 Cardinals and Bearcats.
Otterbein goal scored by number 12, Pat Tyner.
Pat Tyner with that underhanded low and away rip. Rips the duck right past Gonzalez. Never even sees it. That was an unnecessary roughness call on David Liu. That was a releasable penalty, so he will come back into the game. And here in the last quarter of play, Otterbein has gone down by 2, made it up by 2, and is now tied again with the Bearcats. Salazar wins the face-off, opts to carry it into the zone, dishes it off, thrown, and missed the pass. But Otterbein, can they get possession back? No. Goes to Kusar for the Wildcats, or Bearcats, excuse me. Wrong team name. Gonzalez with the ball, throws to 3, Colin Rigney, who looks to carry it across the line. Does uncontested, but is picked up by number 6 on Otterbein, Matt Isley. Possession goes to Otterbein, thrown to Gundling, who opts to carry it. Dishes it off to run across the line. There is, I do believe, Brogan Orcutt. Ball now at X for Otterbein. Up to the top of the crease with Pat Tyner. Scored the tying goal. Looks to number 3, Jeff Reese, who in turn throws it to Brandon Strew. Shot blocked down there by the Bearcats defense. Controlled by 27, Sean Kredovics, who is almost shoved out of bounds but loses the ball. Possession goes to the Cardinals.
Great aggression there by Stroop. He's got his A game going in terms of physicality. He is not letting up on anybody right now. He's been the big difference maker in terms of, applying lots of pressure. He's made huge plays, made huge passes. Got the momentum going in the Cardinals' direction with that little shove down low. The Cardinals were down 4-2.
Pass to Giuliano goes outside of his reach. Picked up by Kuzar. Possession back to the Cardinals. Now Giuliano controls. Thrown to Reese at the top of the box, who carries it out. Lots of pressure there by David Liu. Check set up and broken by number 15, Brandon Strew. Down to the X, across to the back box. Otterbein needs to get another shot on and keep the momentum going their direction. Up to the top of the box, pass flubbed to Jeff Reese. Picks it up far and away from the play. Otterbein, with great control in their offensive zone, has done a great job of keeping the ball their direction. Leading in shots 35-19 is Otterbein, as well as ground balls 32-18. Jacob, you look at the stats, and this game seems as though it should be much more in Otterbein's direction than it has been.
Yeah, and I think you have to give a lot of credit once again to Gonzalez, the saves he has made. And a lot of that has to do with, the penalties that both teams have taken. When you take a lot of penalties in a game like this, whether it be soccer or hockey or lacrosse, you're not going to see a whole lot of offense built up right away, but eventually it's going to start coming back. And we're seeing that right now. Cardinals they've had 2 goals off the man advantage so far. They just recently had one to tie it up. We don't need, with the score tied at 4 and with the time that we have left, you don't know what you're going to get.
And that being said, there will be another penalty on the Bearcats. This one to what appears to be Patrick Kenna, excuse me. So Otterbein looks to cycle it again on the EMO up to the top of the box with Marcus Willis.
Oh, what a perfect pass. Tyner didn't have the right angle, though. He couldn't put that one in.
Otterbein up on the 1-minute EMO with the releasable penalty for slashing. Otterbein with another look wins the chase again into the bottom of the box. Now, something that I would like to point out that many do not often understand with lacrosse is the way that possession is decided. With Otterbein here on the EMO, any shot that is taken and is ruled a shot by the referee, if it goes out of bounds, the player closest to the part of the line where the ball went out gets possession. So that is why you will often see goalie Gonzalez running after shots that are taken by Otterbein, trying to win that possession back for his team, and why the stick will be held out towards the sideline by players trying to get closer to the line. So the penalty is up. We'll stay now with the Cardinals into the bottom of the box. Carried in around 2X and around the crease is Zach Stowe. Stowe throws off to Mikey O'Neill, who controls on our side of the box. Looks to break through the defense. Around now to the back of the crease is O'Neill. O'Neill throws and is thrown back to Pat Tyner. O'Neill on the goalie left of the crease. Pops it off. Can hear from here Colin Hartnett asking his team to spread out, widen out the field. No need to get tight into the box now. That ball turned over, knocked out of the stick. Picked up on a bad pass by Gonzalez. Ripped. Number 4, Mikey O'Neill with the shot after Gonzalez turns over his own pass.
Oh boy, Gonzalez not happy with that one. Now you can see the look on his face, and you just turned it over to perhaps one of the deadliest offensive players in the entire Ohio Athletic Conference. Mikey O'Neill, no mistake there. He's not going to mess up on that one. And as we've seen, the momentum has started to shift. Physicality's picked up. The Cardinals have taken advantage of the extra mans that they've had. And right now, guys like Mikey O'Neill and Pat Tyner are making them pay the price.
Timeout called by St. Vincent. Are we going to see a goalie switch here?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be totally surprised. Lacrosse is one of those games where, if a team starts to build a lead late in the game, as long as you can keep the pressure away. And we saw it last year plenty of times when, we saw Isaac Urquhart come in for Adam Hatcher. Andrew Fee came in as well. There were times, Matt, last year where I saw 2 or 3 different goalie changes late in the game. So I wouldn't be totally shocked, but the way Gunling is played today, I wouldn't take him out at this point. If you get down to the final minutes and you build a 3 or 4 goal lead, I would. Otherwise, if I'm Otterbein, keeping it in. Now, Gonzalez, on the other hand, if you're looking to try and shift the momentum of this game, I wouldn't be surprised if he were to do so. He had some huge saves, early on in the third quarter and late in the third quarter as well. But the pressure has gotten to him a little bit. So within the next few minutes or so, watch out. Let's see if head coach Peter Tulk decides to go with the goalie change.
Well, Gonzalez takes back to the field for now. But number 29 for St. Vincent, the freshman Tim McCall from Morgantown, PA, is dressed and ready to go, as well as Logan Hoffman, the senior from Matthews, North Carolina, both alternate goalies for the St. Vincent Bearcats. Face-off in the center, possession won by Otterbein. Salazar with another face-off win, his 11th on the day. Ball carried in by Otterbein defense across into the zone. Thrown off to number 23, Drew Watson, who dishes to number 9, Robbie Giuliano. Ball now in the back of the box for Otterbein, thrown across to the right side to Mikey O'Neill.
Whoa, what happened there? The camera just went off.
O'Neill has it again.
Is it dead?
Throws up to the top to number 12, Pat Tyner.
Cardinals just looking to slow things down a little bit, get the possession going, find those open spaces, taking their time with it.
Ball works its way over to Jeff Reese, who looks to run in. Pass to O'Neill. Not quite enough air on the ball to be picked up turned into Gonzalez's crease. O'Neal pressures Gonzalez, looking for another easy goal. Gonzalez leaves the crease, throws over to 17. Patrick Kenna carries it up the right side of the field. Ball controlled now in the bottom of the box by St. Vincent. Pick set and blown through there by number 33 Otterbein, Trevor Kajowski. That sends possession to Otterbein, who carries it up. Numbers coming against the St. Vincent defense. Oh, tripped up there is number 12, Pat Tyner. No call. Possession goes to St. Vincent. Gonzalez throws over to Kuzar. Kuzar looking for the out, goes back to Gonzalez in the center of the field. Kuzar, Gonzalez, and Kenna walk it up. Kuzar now with it the whole way across to Kenna. Now, I don't know if I like this tactic by the Bearcats. They're taking it a little too slow when they're down by 1 goal. Otterbein up 5-4 in this lacrosse game.
We see Gonzalez creeping up a little bit, and it's basically their way of getting the extra man there, but they pay the price for it there. Too many long passes. Huge costly turnover.
Drew Watson carries in for Otterbein down into the bottom corner of the box. Passes the whole way across now. To the bottom of the X is Mike Dadalo. Dadalo loses possession to St. Vincent, who goes right back to their goalie Gonzalez in that protected crease. Now looking for a good pass on his way out. Dishes to Kenna on his left side, who looks for the streaking number 27 goal scorer, Sean Kredovics. Kredovics with it now, takes the shot, turned away by Gundling, who dives for the trap. Can't pick it up, but Otterbein's defenseman does. Ball carried in now by Otterbein. Tyner in the bottom of the box. Throws up and away. Mikey O'Neal controls.
About a minute 45 left. Look for the Cardinals to run this game down a little bit. Still only a 1-goal game, though.
Otterbein controls at the top of the box. No box restriction on this game. Otterbein does not have a big enough lead. Often you will see teams, when they are up by 2 or more points in the later ends of the games, refs will put a box restriction, and after the ball enters into the white box painted in the offensive zone, it must stay in the box, or there is a turnover. That not the case now for Otterbein, being up only by 1 here in this game, with just about a minute-ish left here. $1.31 left in this game, with Otterbein up 5-4. As we look at some of the stats for right now in this timeout, which was called by Otterbein, Otterbein is up 40-20 on shots. They are down 9-16 on saves, but what's that to be said for a team that has taken half of the shots of Otterbein? Ground balls also goes to Otterbein, 36-21. Carlos Salazar, the face-off specialist for Otterbein, has been absolutely dominating the FOS for St. Vincent. Charlie Russo winning 12 of the 13 face-offs. Otterbein has gotten 16 of their 9 clears, with St. Vincent at 19 of their 31 clears. St. Vincent leads in penalties and penalty minutes, with 8 penalties going for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Otterbein only down to 7 penalties for 5 minutes. And St. Vincent with 30 turnovers, Otterbein only with 26. So stats-wise, this game is in the half of Otterbein. Scoreboard-wise, this game is in the half of Otterbein. Now, hopefully, in this last half of play, Otterbein can keep it on their side. We wait now for the ball to be carried in on the right side of the box. Possession stays with Otterbein. St. Vincent now fighting for control. You see Gonzalez not playing as much as a goalie, but more as a defenseman. trying hard to lock off every possible player, doubling when they can to get back possession. Being down by only 1 goal with not a lot of time left, St. Vincent is going to begin to scramble for this game. Otterbein with the control at the center of the box, looking for the shot. Pass back to the back of the box. 1 minute in the game remaining. Picked up by St. Vincent, but knocked away by Otterbein.
Great aggressiveness there by the Cardinals.
Mike Dadalow carries, looks for the shot, can't make it. Otterbein wins the chase. Possession will stay with Otterbein. Bottom of the box. Not a lot of time left here for the Bearcats. Really need the turnover. Hopefully Otterbein can keep the ball in their sticks here. O'Neal controls at the top of the box. Not a lot of pressure. Runs it, looking for a place to go. Attempt to lock off there by Phil Messina. Does not work. Mikey O'Neal controls the ball. Mikey O'Neal keeps it in the bottom corner. Continues to play with the ball. No one can touch O'Neal today. Finally gets rid of it to Marcus Willis in the top of the box. There's a delayed penalty on the Bearcats, but they may not even get a chance to serve it. Otterbein takes the game as the clock runs out. Uncontested is the Otterbein attack as they run around the St. Vincent Bearcats. Now that just has to feel awful for Gonzalez, that winning goal coming off of his turnover. And that is a shame for the Bearcats, but that is great here for your Otterbein Cardinals as they walk away from this game 5-4.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matt Caldwell. That should just about do it here from Memorial Stadium. Once again, the Cardinals pull off the victory. Low-scoring affair, 5-4 here in Westerville, Ohio. For Matt Cole, I'm Jacob Barker, along with the rest of the crew. Have a good afternoon and have a good evening.